Hello, I'm Dante Scala, Associate Professor of Political Science at UNH.
And I'm Andy Smith, Director of the UNH Survey Center. And as you know, this class is winding down. We want to thank you for sticking with us. But the primary is really starting to heat up, just like the Yule logs behind us here today.
Feeling the burn, Smith?
Feeling the burn.
This week we had what might be the single biggest endorsement we'll see in New Hampshire, which is the New Hampshire Union Leaders endorsement of New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, which came out this past weekend.
And certainly it's the biggest newspaper in the state, the only statewide newspaper. But I think it also points out some of the things we've talked about, that endorsements by news media aren't what they used to be. The Union Leaders endorsement used to carry a lot of weight, not so much because of the editorial policy, but because they would really change the way they covered candidates based on who they endorsed. They haven't done that as much in recent years, and that power of that endorsement, I think, has weakened a bit.
I think what's going to be interesting to watch is whether the Union Leader is able to give cues that other conservative media elites will pick up. Because right, once upon a time, back in the 1970s, if you were a conservative, you read the Union Leader, and that was probably the only conservative media you got. But nowadays, of course, the same person who reads the Union Leader for the editorial pages is listening to talk radio all day, and they probably watch Fox News in the evening. And so what I'm wondering is, will the Union Leader endorsement change the minds of other conservative elites nationally and make them give Chris Christie a second look?
Yeah, I think because Christie's been in that group of candidates, the moderate or mainstream governors, rather than the more conservative outsider candidates, which seems to be a major theme in the Republican primary this year. And if Christie can use this as a way to separate himself or prove his conservative bona fides, then I think that might help him out. So I agree with you about that.
Yeah, and the other question is whether Christie, who's been basically in single digits in New Hampshire for months and months, whether he's finally going to get some traction in time for the final push with just under 10 weeks to go.
I got plenty of time left. If he's got an organization in place, that's the thing to pay attention to.
So we'd like to take an opportunity now to thank everyone who has really made this MOOC happen. Smith, you and I have often feel like the tip of the iceberg, but there's been so many people working with us and helping us to get this together.
We could not do this alone. Trust us.
That much should be evident by now to attentive viewers. We'd like to thank from Academic Technology, Terry Winters, Dan Carchidi, Michael McIntyre, and Scott Kimball for all the help from beginning to end. We'd like to thank our producer and resident Jedi Knight, Meg Heckman, for all the work she did this past year. We'd like to thank Adam Frost and our colleagues over at New Hampshire Public Television, who provide us with very important studio space and their expertise, Andy, with producing videos. We'd like to thank the many students who worked on this MOOC over the course of the past year: Jason Reuter, Kelsey Grist, Cam Johnson, Samantha Friedman, Todd Benz. We'd like to thank the Concord Monitor, as well as the Union Leader, for sharing their photo archives with us. So many of the photographs you saw in the past several weeks have come from those places. Last but not least, we'd like to thank Shane McGray and the whole crew at Parker Media Lab, who provided us lots of help, especially over this past summer, in polishing up the videos that you've been watching over the past several weeks.
So if you haven't finished up yet in the course, we're going to keep this available. You'll be able to watch the videos for some time, but at least until the primary. But for those of you who are hoping to get CEUs from the course, remember that you have to have those done, the exams completed and through by midnight December 5th. That's this Saturday, midnight Eastern time. Have everything done, and you can unlock your certificate and take that to school, use that as you can.
And your certificate is suitable for framing.
Yes, it is.
Right? Show off to your friends, and we promise to sign any ones that you send to us.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And so
the least we could do.
Yep. And Andy, it's been fun.
It has been a lot of fun. And I hope you've enjoyed it too.
Yeah. Thanks very much. We'll see you soon.